have to go back in history, and we have to go back to the time when our schools were funded on local taxes. There was a period of time where we received our funding prior to Proposal A. The community taxes were what supported the school. The law changed, and our sales tax increased to 6% so that we could equally fund our school systems. However, there's some caveats in there. There were some schools that were getting a much higher foundation rate and some schools with a lower foundation rate. So because we had decades, generations of inequity in funding, we have school districts that had the ability to keep their facilities up to speed and schools that did not. There's this disparity that has been created. Just this school year, the governor and our legislature were able to pass an equal foundation allowance. So all of our schools in the state of Michigan now receive the same foundation allowance per child. But I think we can't assume that everything is good now. Fixing that funding gap so that it's equal is step one. But I hope to see that it's very quickly followed by steps 2, 3, and 4, where we start to look at equitable funding and understanding that our children in different communities come with different opportunities. And it's critical that we fund children so that they have the same opportunities, because only then will we be able to see the same outcomes. And while we're in this space and we're talking about access and fairness, we can add in identity, that we can make sure that we're using the resources that children can identify with. So the idea is that a book can reflect ourselves. We talk about using books as mirrors and windows. My last name is Garcia. That is my married name. I am a white woman, so I grew up with all the privilege of a white woman. Married an amazing man and have Hispanic children. And I can tell you that the books that I read as a child reflected me. I could identify with the characters in the book. My children, not so much. There weren't a lot of characters that they could identify and see themselves in. So we had to be very deliberate about that. African American children, it's more difficult. We don't often see in classroom libraries books that they can identify with. So we have to be purposeful as educators. About 90.5% of the teachers in the state of Michigan are white teachers, and about 35% of the students in Michigan are of color. So we know, just as we talked about it being important to mirrors and windows with books, mirrors and windows with the adults that we interact with are important as well. So the more that children can see themselves and or learn about other cultures through the adults that they work with, it's going to enhance their ability to interact with others in the future and to learn more about others. I have no doubt that our children need more time one-on-one or in small groups of instruction, so that tutoring aspect of it. And I think we're going to need help to get there. We also know that there's a teacher shortage. Right. So being able to say to our schools, we expect that tutoring to come from extra and beyond the typical day's hours with our teacher force is going to be an extremely difficult thing to happen. So as the superintendent of Muskegon Heights, we were a partner with AmeriCorps, and we had the opportunity to have AmeriCorps workers in our buildings and tutoring our students in reading. Being able to have those tutors right within the school, taking a look at those early indicators of literacy success, and then providing students who didn't have those the extra opportunities to build those was a critical component for us. I want to also, if I may, tie that back to the Michigan's top 10 strategic plan. So our goal is to be one of the top 10 states in the country. Taking individuals and helping them support in this process ties to the goal that talks about increasing the adults with a percentage of post-secondary credentials, right? Because tutors have the opportunity, I believe, to earn toward their own future learning. One of the things I love about the idea of MEC is being able to bring tutors from the local community and get them involved in the tutoring. So when I was a local superintendent, I always tried to encourage either recent graduates from high school or young parents to consider becoming a tutor, because not only then can they get involved with the children in the community and help grow the skills of all the children that they work with, but they're also investing in their own future learning. And then eventually I have seen tutors become teachers. So know that being a teacher is critically important work, and you will have impact beyond what you can even imagine. So for MEC interventionists who are in the community, your community needs you, and you in particular, right? Because you represent your community. And so come to this knowing that you're going to have an impact directly with your neighbors and for your community that you will see grow like you never imagined. So stick with it, try to enjoy it, and be encouraged that you've chosen a good path.